we're alive. Well, I think I am. We shall see. We shall see, Jake. We shall see. I know. Hey, guys. Good, it is working. Do you guys like my beautiful background for you guys? I wanted you to have something to look at. It has been a long time since I have been to a Caribou Coffee, and I'm in North Carolina, because this is like Minnesota, right? I always say that I prefer this over Starbucks. You like my hair? This is COVID hair. You guys, I have not had my hair cut. Like, it's down, like when it's in the back, it's past the middle of my back. I haven't had my hair done since before my cruise in February. You're in North Carolina too? I'm in, where the heck am I? Selma. I'm in Selma. I was just at Kenley truck stop. I didn't find anything. I wanted to, like, you know when you want to buy something and you can't find anything to buy?
7 hours and 30 minutes of remaining drive time.
Shut up. Does anybody know, can you change her voice? I want somebody that's British. You're in EFE. Is that like big effing Egypt? Bum effing Egypt? You're in Zebulon. I have no idea where that is compared to me, but yeah, I was at Kenley. And okay, I did go to Iron Skillet, and I got the 10-ounce ribeye, and I asked for medium. I got that sucker. It was well done. Hello, Smitty from Australia. Welcome, welcome. Let's just see who's all here. Trucker Hershey's in the house. Don Shonger. Every time I see your name, I want to I think Shalong. I don't know why. It's very similar to that. Thank you for the clarification on it. Oh gosh. Thank you, Ben. I also think I'm a very cool mom. My kids have always disagreed with that, but yes, I would agree. Best coffee. So this is so hard to find. And I was at Kenley and I was like, what? A Caribou? Plus, you can't go wrong with the cute straw. And then I was going to buy a bunch of mugs, and I'm like, I can't buy more mugs, you guys. I have so many mugs on my truck. It's sad. Hey, John, how are you? Dolahite. Lugnut. Thank you, Eddie. Blessings to you. TJ, if I didn't say hello, hello. Hey, Gary. Attitude. Hey, Dirty Bro. Jeremy. Ricky. All right. You guys, I'm on a, I was on a 2 pickup, 3 drop off load. So I'm here at my second to last drop off. And my appointment's early in the morning, but after 7 o'clock at night, you can actually park inside the gates. So I want to be here and check in early. But I have been held up at every customer, and every location will pay me detention. So my first pickup, I was there for almost 5 hours, which caused me to be late for my second appointment, which was only like 5 miles around the neighborhood. And then, you guys, I went for a live pickup. A live pickup and they had me drop my trailer so that they could put it in the door. They had my trailer for 15 hours. 15 hours on a live pickup. I was so mad. I went to the yard dog and I said, look, I didn't fuel my reefer to drop it, so I don't know. I don't know if there's if there's still enough fuel in that. It was running at 24, but and he's like, well, you should have filled it. And I said, you've had my trailer for 12 hours. You should have loaded it last night at 9 o'clock. It's now 10 o'clock in the morning. Am I wrong? And then when I checked in, and she says, yeah, just drop your load. Just put it anywhere in the parking lot you can find a spot. He says to me when I'm talking to him about the fuel, he's like, yeah, we charge you for not moving your tandems. And I said, what? Nobody told me to move my tandems. I was told to just drop it. I don't know. Jersey, you know how I am. Jersey Mike, you know. Hey, Wims, how are you? Hey, Jason, my primate. Trucker John, were they really? Did you get them? I thought when I was, where was I at? Virginia. Wait, you guys, I can never remember where I'm at. Yeah, I don't know. It was like a perfect setup for them to like be at the same location I was. And you guys, I actually dream and plot about meeting up with them again. Like, I want my revenge. Like, I want that old guy to come up to me. I mean, normally I would have a lot of respect because he's an elder. But he did me wrong. So, I've played this out in my head so many times about, like, what I would do if I ran up to them again. I just hope it comes true. Because you know what? Stranger things have happened. You guys, I lost my keys about 8 months ago at a customer. I left them on the back bumper. Drove away and they called me and they said, hey, are you missing a set of keys? And I said, oh my gosh, yes. And 2 days ago I pulled into this customer. I'm like, this is the customer I left my keys at because I never did get them back. So when I was checking in, I said, hey, is your office manager in? She has keys of mine, I think from like 9 months ago. I got my keys back. That's fantastic. I said I should go play the lottery or run into those guys so I can get my ring back. I mean, I'm feeling lucky. Feeling it. What's going on with you guys? Do what they did to the old guy on Yellowstone. Ooh, swift kick in the teeth. Yeah, but that means I'd have to get my leg up that far. I'm just gonna sick Jake on him. Like, command Jake to, like, tear into him. Tear into him! That's right, Shannon. I'm gonna sick Jake on those. Oh, on the yard jockeys? Oh, I don't know. Matt, you said you just left OTR to go back to Northwest dedicated for Costco. Really? Tell me more about that. Because, what the heck? Yes, all of a sudden this just fell on my wrist. I have no idea where that's from. Cool, you're visiting family. Nice. Oh, they hung him and cut the brand off. Well, I'm not saying that I haven't had really bad thoughts towards those men, but I'd like them to have a couple dog scars. Yeah. See, Jake's biting them. But I talked to Wilbert today. If you guys remember, Wilbert was my student who was also my brother-in-law. And he turned in his truck at Prime, and he picked up his newly purchased truck, which was a 16 Freightliner. I've said that in another video. And I can't tell you where he's going to work because it's not my story to tell, but he's going to work for a very large company. He's leasing onto them. And what's remarkable is he hasn't had his license for 2 years yet, so, and I don't know how this works because I don't have any insurance quotes yet. But if you guys have, if you follow other truckers in YouTube, the YouTube space, right? Like Team Tiny, congrats for him, you know, getting his CDL, and I mean, I give him a lot of props for buying his truck and all of that authority and just going gangbusters. But you guys, I don't know if you know, but he called to get his first insurance quote. Now, mind you, he has no experience driving with his CDL. His quote was like $65,000 for the year. I mean, if I had sound effects right now, it would be like bombs going off. And then I thought Hensley said that he got his insurance for $12,500. And I was like, okay, so that's significantly better. I thought before I heard other trucker James Best mention like $22,000 a year. I could be wrong on that. But when I was talking to Wilbert, he went through Progressive like a lot of people, like, you know, a lot of people do when they first start out. And again, he hasn't had his license for 2 years. His is like $6,000. I was like, what? How is yours so cheap? He goes, I don't know. And he goes, and then they told me once I hit 2 years to shop around because my insurance will drop. And I was like, really? I was so afraid of like buying a truck because I thought insurance was just gonna straight up kill me. Matt, so you live in that area? Because running Oregon, Washington, and Idaho like wintertime would just be like tough going. Like, I don't know if I can do it. I mean, all winter. I can take loads into it, right, and come out. But to have that be my runs all the time, I couldn't do it. So props to you, my friend. Props to you. Hey, Charles, how are you? Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. Yeah, Jake will do the trick. Shannon, I have a feeling if my husband was with me, I wouldn't have been a victim. Chris has got some massive shoulders on. He's not like, well, yeah, he is a big man. I mean, not like overweight, that sort of, he's just like massive. So I don't think, yeah. And break their kneecaps. That's right. Hey, America, how are you? Trucker, I'm from Minneapolis. Hey, Greg, how are you? How are the, well, you're not in the oil fields. Where are you, Greg? I mean, you should be in the oil fields. I don't think you still are. Woo, Matt, Spokane, that's too much for me. Hey, Lockout Man. Life's good. Life is fantastic. What is this? Jersey Mike says, I paid $12,500. My agent is CIS. And that was for your first year for one truck? Hey, Eddie. Recap runs a lot in Minneapolis. Like his headquarters for the company that he drives for is literally blocks from my house. Like literally. I mean, that would be an easy and tempting company to move to, although it's all company drivers. They don't allow lease or owner ops or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw Junior Honduras's latest video where he's showing his 3 trucks that he has. You guys, he just got a 4th truck. It's black with gold. I mean, it is sweet. I mean, the guy's been with Prime for 9 years and has 4 trucks. Say what you will about Prime, but you can do things there. You can make moves. Tiffany Hannah, she's got what? 8 trucks? 8. I mean, she left for a little while, but she came back, and that's some, I mean, well, I appreciate that, LaShawn, I really do. Oh, you went up to Alaska for the summer? See, based on Flatbed Chick, I thought, you know, they shut down everything, well, right at the start of COVID, I guess, for us. And then she had problems getting back to, like, the lower 48. So I thought they were just shut down. Well, it's good to hear that you're working. Yeah, because that's one industry that I thought, whew, hard hit for sure. Yeah, I don't have a connection with the Flatbed Chick, otherwise I'd try to hook you up, but I don't know her. If you were owner op, you would do own authority. See, I don't know. I'm like, I'm so tempted. I'm conflicted, Hans. I don't know that I should get my own authority and jump out of the gates and go full board, you know, like trying to work with agents and brokers and negotiate loads and all of that stuff. Or if I should lease on, learn how to use a load board. You know, because Prime has the load choice, which isn't a true load board. But I have been choosing my own loads for, it's coming up on a year now, I think. Last October, I think I started with load choice. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, I got 6 months, but that 6 months is going to go fast. I know I'm going to get my own truck. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. You worked in the fishing industry. So, like, you were out on the boats, or you were at the ports picking up seafood? I sound really dumb saying that, because I was trying to think through, like, what would you be doing in the fishing industry? Were you on one of the boats? Were you on a TV show? I'm intrigued. Hey, Paul, how are you? Jersey Mike, I think you mean to say lease on first versus Lisa. Schneider's out for me, I believe, Rick. But I really am looking towards Landstar. I mean, that was what I was thinking, and then I was listening to Trucking O&D, which they now changed their name to, I forget. But, you know, they were brokers and agents at Landstar, and, you know, with any company you run into, you're going to run into, like, good agents and bad agents, and good brokers and bad brokers, just like good drivers, bad drivers. I mean, I don't have a network going into being an owner op and my own authority, and like being able to get loads right away, like direct loads, like direct customers. I don't have that network built. So That's why I'm thinking I should lease, and then maybe a year, or not lease on. And then maybe after a year of like learning, the load boards and things of that nature, then make the next move to get my own authority. That's sort of where I'm leaning. Yep, Jake is here too. Hey RD, how are you? Yes, I know. The speech to text, I don't know. It doesn't like my Minnesota accent, so it always gets it wrong. But you should hear Chris try to use like the remote at home, like talking to the TV, because he has a Jamaican accent. Oh my gosh. I'm like, give me the remote. I'm like, whatever, Shark Tank, or HBO. It just doesn't understand him. And I was like, oh. Does anybody else with an accent or dialect have problems with their remotes or Alexa or whatever all those talking other robots are? Let's see, Charles. You have to figure out your operating costs would be, and you have to know what certain lanes would pay. True. True. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things up in the air right now. I wanted to buy a truck outright, and now people are like, oh, if you want to build business credit, you should take out, pay for most of the truck, but have a small loan on it to establish more business credit. Because when you go to buy a second or a third, are you always going to come up with the cash, or you're going to have to start over with not having business credit, even though you have a truck? You know what I mean? So you got to start somewhere with building it. So, but I would be based out of Minneapolis area. I could go to Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Chris has got it in with a produce distribution company. It's one of his buddies, and so they have trucks that come up from Mexico. And I said, God, if I could get into that, and just be, depending on what it pays, like 1 or 2 loads a week, go down, come back, go down, come back, home for a couple of days, then repeat it, that would be awesome. So, but I hear all these people getting on, like, Rick, do you drive for Schneider? So, I've spoken to a few past Schneider drivers, and they don't really have like favorable things to say, although the one thing I hear is that they have like terminals or drop yards everywhere, like in good locations, so you can always go there to find parking, you know what I mean? So, but that's about what I've heard. I haven't heard like the pay is any better. I heard it's similar to Prime, and you guys, I'm not the only thing I don't want, I do not want to pay this large truck payment anymore with Prime, so I'm going to complete my lease. But I don't have anything negative to say about Prime, not even with the lease. That was my decision. So, I mean, Prime has been just outstanding to me, and I will say this today, I make really good money being solo and a lease operator, and I know that I could make more if I didn't have this big truck payment, and that's what's, resonates in the back of my mind all the time. But for what it is, people dog Prime out, but I'm telling you what, I make good money. I am not kidding you. I am not kidding you. So that's that. Have I thought about like being power only for Prime? Yep. Yep. So I don't know what that would look like yet. Have I thought about buying a truck through Pedigree, which is it's like a sister company. I don't even know if it's like considered a division of Prime, but I think it's a sister company. Yep. Because I know that Prime trucks are taken care of because we are required to. They will shut you down. Prime will shut you down if you don't take care of your maintenance. Fact. Let's see. I gotta see what you guys are saying here. You have to sign on with a company that has no company trucks. Like who? I guess I haven't researched that. Gave a lot of money away in parking lots too. I don't know what you mean, background voice. Smitty, I love Prime. Money is very good. I'm a trainer there and have been there for 4 years, and I complete my lease in December. Yeah, I mean, when people dog Prime out, it's typically those who have never worked there. Because, or if you didn't want to work, right? Like, I am on the grind out here. I have goals and aspirations, and I have things I want to accomplish. So I move. I am moving. And my settlement checks reflect the fact that I move. And I'm smart about it. So, Smitty, I'm there with you. I'm there with you. I have nothing bad to say about Prime. Nothing. RD Trucking, no, that is not true. I did a traditional, so they have two types of leases at Prime. They have a traditional lease, which, so when you think about a car, when you lease a car, you make payments to lease it, and then when your lease is up, you can either buy it outright or you give it back. I give it back. So I think, like when I look at my settlements, I can see lifetime to date, what I paid on things. So by the time and Prime's truck payment includes insurance. So when we say our truck payment's like $1,100, that's just not for the truck itself. That includes our insurance. Okay, so a lot of other companies break it out, but if you add those two together, it's right around Prime's rate. So when I say truck payment, that's my insurance too. So by the time I give my lease back, that truck payment line item will be around 160 grand. That's what I paid to use this truck. Now you can do a lease purchase, which means you put down, typically if you're starting out right away with Prime and get into a truck, you put down 14 grand. Now that goes down for every year that you're with them. It goes down by $1,000. But you have to put down 14 grand, and then you can, basically order your truck with all the bells and whistles you want. Anything extra you have to put down in cash, because they don't want a fancy truck that you ordered and now they're stuck with the payments on those. So you do have to pay for all of your little extras up front too before you take the truck up the lot or sign for the lease, whatever. So no, I give this truck back, and I'm okay with that. Trucker's Table, the $1,100 is a week for Prime. It's $1,100 a week is what we paid for our truck / insurance. Some of it's a little less, if you only have like a 2-year lease and a little bit of an older truck. But when I got into this in 2018, it was a brand new 2019 with less than 1,000 miles on it. So yeah, holy crap. So let's just say that when I go on vacation, I really don't stop thinking about work, because all I think about is like I'm gonna be in the hole when I come off vacation. So I don't enjoy it. It's very hard for me to relax. So, Junior is actually going to do, now, I don't know, here's what I'll say. And I can't speak for Tiffany because I don't know her story. Although Women in Trucking, the organization, she won a truck like 2 years ago, I think it was, and she just sold that one. But so I don't really know her story. Junior, I know that the white truck, which is a manual, he still drives, and that's his very first truck that he got. I don't know how he got the other two. Like, I don't know if he did like a lease purchase or if he went to Pedigree. Because he said, just in this last video that he has showing the 4 trucks, he says that he's going to do a video about Pedigree and how he did what he did. So it makes it sound like he worked through Pedigree, which is like a dealer, you know, like, so I'm interested to learn how he did it too. There's a lot of people at Prime that have small fleets. And by small, I mean, you know, like less than 8. I'm not talking about like, shoot, what's the big one at Prime? There's BLK or BLC, which is black. There's RTC. I'm going to have that wrong. Riverside Transit. Anyway, those are some, I don't consider them small fleets. I mean, they have a lot of trucks. But there's a lot of people that quietly and under the radar grow a small fleet, and they hire company drivers. So if you think about it, Prime takes care to make sure that they do all of the hiring paperwork, the drug testing, you know, they do the training, and then when you put that company driver in your truck, you know, you pay them their paycheck, their salary, and then you cover their insurance. And but Prime like handles everything else for them. Make sure that their drug tests get in, like, so it's kind of a sweet deal. And if you want to, you know, have a truck at Prime and you have your own driver, that driver has to go through Prime's background checks and all of that. You have to keep quiet and make money at Prime. Prime does it all, but you find drivers. Yeah, RTS. Kevin, is that right? RTS. That doesn't sound right. RTS. Maybe it is. His first truck was used, the white one. Yeah, yep, the white one, he still has it. You know, when he paid it off, I forget what he said, like there was 1 million miles on it, and everybody's like, oh, get rid of it. And he's like, why would I get rid of it? I can still drive it for another several years. And he's, you know, Junior is very meticulous, and he takes really, really good care of his things. So, I mean, he's just a funny guy. I like Junior. I applaud him for what he's achieved. I really do. Yeah, I do. I have nothing. I wouldn't say anything bad about Junior, and I can't anyway. You can't worry. Or Jersey Mike says you don't have to worry about being in a hole when you own outright your own truck. That is true. Although, if you take time, you know, but my dad was self-employed to a degree as well. He worked for the state, but he was also self-employed. And so when we would take family vacations, there was no well, I shouldn't say that. When you're self-employed, if you take time off and there's nobody working for you or in your place, you lose out on that revenue. So I'm parked on the side of the road by this customer. At 7, I could pull in there, but I'm telling you what, you guys, that whole thing that whole thing that happened to me has me just jaded. But Shannon, so yeah, so Prime won't, if you bring in your own trucks, or like Junior has 4 trucks, Prime is not going to assign someone to your truck. You have to find a driver. You know, and it's just like, you know, just like any place else, Prime's got good drivers and they got bad drivers, and they, you know, they got people that take care of your equipment, and they got people that don't. And I mean like cleanliness, cleaning out, you know, taking out your garbage and your bathroom bottles and all of that. So it's always a risk when you put somebody in your truck. Hans, you almost whipped a Prime 2 weeks ago, taking a shower while in fuel oil. Oh, I don't even want to hear that. That's the stuff that irritates me. That is so embarrassing for me. Like, I mean, I get shit on the road just because I'm pulling a Prime trailer. You know what I mean? But I'm not taking showers while in the fuel aisle. I'm also not taking the hose at the fuel island that's got the non-potable water and washing my truck. Who does that? I don't know. I don't know who does that stuff. I agree, Trucker's Table. Like, you know, when I came into it, I didn't know all of those like details, like, you know, don't lease from the same company that you work for, and you know, all of those things. So, oh, it is RST. Okay, there you go, Riverside Trucking Service. Yeah, it just didn't sound right, I guess. Rick says that whole flat was an accident thing, was horrible for the driver. I must have missed that. Yeah, Jersey Mike, I agree with you. Like, Prime does all of the work. I mean, all of the background stuff, all of that. Shannon, yeah, that was 2 years ago. I mean, I could tell that they were down and out. I mean, this couple was filthy. For those of you guys that don't know, that you know how you get your memories that post up on Facebook and you can share them? So a memory popped up from 2 years ago where I shared, like, I felt like somebody was watching me while I was fueling. And then when I was done fueling, I pulled forward to go into the truck stop. And as I was walking towards the door, I really, you know, you can really feel people watching you, and so I was a little uneasy. And as I got closer, then the woman of the couple asked if I would provide them with a shower, and I said yes, absolutely. Now, I don't want to judge, but they were dirty. They were dirty, and I of course was going to help them out. And the reason I posted that is because of what happened to me recently. I now don't make eye contact with people really, and I will go out of my way to avoid situations like that where I really could be missing out on helping people. Like, it pisses me off, frankly. Like, that I'm like that now. And I need to find a way to get back. I need to find it. I need to find who I was. If that makes sense. I don't like not helping people. That is not who I am. And it's become tougher for me to do that. So I struggle with finding happiness in that regard, because giving makes me happy. And that's all I gotta say on that one. Do you, Shannon? Yeah, I don't know. This guy was like all over the side of his truck and like really. RTS out of Houston. Your trainer has 12 trucks? Is it, or what is the 12, AWIMS? Your trainer has 12 what? Shannon. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. Sometimes, like, I will see an old video of mine pop up, and I'm so like, oh my gosh, what was I wearing? What was I thinking? What was I saying? It's funny to sort of look back and when I eventually look back at 2020, I'm gonna be like, oh, holy hell, what a mess year that was, right? With everything that's going on in the world. Oh, Rick, that. Guess what? Okay, let me just. So Rick says, when you said you were charged with an accident and when you got a flat, it had to make an insurance claim. Okay, you guys, this was that pole that was down, like a metal sign was down in my lane of traffic as I was going across the George Washington Bridge in New York City, right? There was no way for me to avoid that sign. I had to go over it. So, and I was actually on the phone at the time, and I was talking to a person like, oh my God, I think I just took out one of my steers because I thought that's what I hit and that's what I damaged. And I'm watching my gauges, right? Like, we have gauges that watch our tractor tires, and then I can see my gauge in my inflation system on my trailer. And I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I'm good. All right, weird. Okay, I guess. And it didn't fly out and hit any other vehicle, so thank God there was no collateral damage. But the thing that I said was, I was not notified by systems that I had a tire issue. It was people that were telling me, like, you have a problem. They're like, and I do one of these wiggle things, and I was like, oh my God. Just before I pull into as I'm pulling into a tunnel, it starts smoking. And at this point, I'm on the phone with my dispatcher, and he's telling me to stop and pull over. I said, I'm not stopping and pulling over in a tunnel. Not if I'm on fire. I need to get through this tunnel. So immediately out of that tunnel, I would, there's a God, there's somebody watching over me, because out of nowhere, when I came out of that tunnel, there was a paved brick area off on the right hand side where there were big like construction spotlights that sort of parked up in front of it, like on the big trailer. So I squeezed in there, and when I was talking to Prime about my claim, I said, the trailer inflation system didn't come on and light up and give me an indication that I had problems. And I said, if I had, then I probably wouldn't have even went as far as I did, because the rim was damaged at that point and all of this. You guys, I never got charged the $500. So I don't know why I never got charged. And trust me, it's not because Prime forgot. Because usually within hours, you're receiving an email that says, we've taken $500 to cover your accident from blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's systematic, right? It's just canned messages. They never took it from me. Now, I haven't done, I haven't looked up to see if it shows as an accident for me, but they didn't charge me with the $500. And I was like, awesome. So that's an update. Thanks for reminding me, Rick. Smitty, all I know is so I'm also on the DAB, right? The Driver Advisory Board. And right now the load choice board is supposed to be tested. The hard part is that there's no good way with all the drivers that are currently on there for Prime to receive feedback on, like, what do you think? How is it going? What do you notice for problems, right? There's no feedback system. So how do you test and not get feedback to to make improvements or upgrades or whatever. So they still have some issues with that system, and I'm glad that it's not fully rolled out because they need to figure some stuff out. You know, and right now, I mean, so many people talk about it. So right now, I will tell you that I can only look at loads 2 hours before my PTA. So, you know, like when you have an appointment at a shipper or at a receiver, I should say, and your appointment's at 9 o'clock, the system automatically puts you available 3 hours later. So I will be sitting at the customer an hour into my appointment before I can even look at other loads. Now, when I first started, it was 12 hours. I mean, that was amazing. I could choose a load before I went to bed. Now it sometimes doesn't sometimes work out that way. So I don't know, and they're talking about minimizing that time again, so we'd have less than 2 hours, and I don't know what to say about it. I like the low choice board because I know how to work it now, and I have a pretty good idea of like the areas that I'm going into, the best areas for me, like the reload areas, what I can expect, like am I going to have to deadhead, blah blah blah. I'm much more knowledgeable in that area, but I've studied it too. So, but they have some things that they have to do. I would just stay on your fleet manager and keep asking. Oh, Shannon, that's what you're gonna do? I see billboards all the time for steel companies, and they look like they make really good money. Tracy Mike, I hope so. I hope it's just a matter of time. Mark, yes, I won't forget it. I was at Petro, New Paris, Ohio. And I've been there since, you guys. And it was very reminiscent of the day that it happened. It was sunny, midday, and like literally I sat up front of my truck and I was doing one of these. I was looking. I mean, I was looking around corners because, you know, they're not going to be right out in the open. I now know how they play their little freaking game. And I was looking for a bunch of legs, like, underneath the trailers. I mean, I was looking. I don't know what I would have done. I mean, like I said, I've planned my interaction with them again, but I don't know how it actually would have played out. And I probably would have done something stupid, but that's just who I am. I would have confronted them, I know that. And I would have made a big deal of it. I would have confronted them. Yeah. And everybody at the lot would know. Yeah. I'm not known for keeping my mouth shut for things like that. I mean, I can keep secrets, but when somebody does me wrong, oh, I'm coming. Mother Truckin' Mom, hi, how are you? Sounds like they're testing whether they're able to move their loads, not whether if drivers like it. Yeah, well, Rick, I would agree. However, operationally, there's things that have to be fixed in the system to ensure that their loads are moved and moved on time, and you know, the network works. So I still think that there's areas of improvement there. Now, there's always going to be, with anything, there's going to be people that don't like it, people that really like it, and there's going to be people that even if everyone's on it, they're still going to ask their dispatcher to dispatch them. Like, there are people that are on it, eligible for it, and they're like, no, I just have my dispatcher, you know, give me loads. I'm like, all right. Okay. Nothing against my dispatcher, but that's not how I want to roll. No, loads are good at Prime. I mean, busy, 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 busy. Yeah, it's fantastic. It really is. Holy crap, all our team drivers, he is making bank. He's got 12 team trucks. That's good money. Yeah, Jersey Mike, if I do it, if I ever see them again, I'm not kidding you, I will make such a fuss. I will be blowing I don't care. I'm going to blow my air horn. I'm going to go batshit crazy out in the parking lot and be yelling about what they did. Yeah. I'm going to make a spectacle. I kind of look forward to it, actually. Welcome back, TJ. Paul, you know, I really love Maine. When I am in a certain area, I actually look for loads going up into Maine. I love Maine. I love it. It pays really well going up into it. Sucks coming out, kind of like Florida. But it does me good. Like, I didn't realize, well, I guess I have known for quite some time now, but I'm a nature person, so I have to be out in nature to sort of ground myself again. I mean, and I knew that in training, like, I would go for walks, like, to get away from my trainer. I'd be like, oh my God. And then when you become a solo driver, depending on your situation, there's a lot of times, like, where you just shut down and go to your bunk, and then you wake back up, go to the shower, get back in your seat and drive again. You know, like, how many of us have been there, right? But now with Jake, I'm so happy that he's on the truck, because I get out and I go for walks, and we are in fields playing, and it's good, because I need that. I need that nature. I don't have an update on the guys. They know who they are. The deputy says he's working it. I don't know. Jersey Mike, I think to some degree you're right. I think other people have had probably bad experiences, whether it's trainers, dispatchers, whatever. But I'm not kidding you guys. There are so many people. I mean, I wish that they would do a survey on the amount of millionaires that work at Prime. I kid you not. I kid you not. And I'm not talking like office C-suite positions. I'm talking about drivers. Al wasn't that bad. That's my... No, not Alan. No, Smitty, if you're talking about Alan I loved. Alan, I mean, he's younger than me, but I called him my big brother just because of his size. And he's met Chris. No, not Alan. I'm talking about the other shitheads. Guys, I swear a lot. I use the S word and the F word. But oh, TJ, well, to learn that you are from Idaho, I never really appreciated Idaho until I got off like 80, and I was like, I was not an official rest area, but like a truck pull-off area, and I was like, holy crap, I was in heaven. Now, if I was a little more adventurous, I would have been like one of those that goes down into the stream or river and swims, but I wasn't that adventurous. I just took pictures and just admired the scenery, and I was just blown away. Because if you only take 80, you hate Idaho, right? You're like, especially at night, you're like, what's this bullshit mountain? Like my first team driver that I had, Sheila, she'd be like, Idaho, Idaho, or whatever. That's what she called the Idaho mountains, is Idaho. She hated Idaho at night, and it seemed like we were always going through 80 at night in Idaho. So I grew to hate it, and then I actually got off, like I said, and I was like, wow, you know, I have a whole new appreciation for it. Mother trucking, I don't, I have maybe seen 2 flatbed female drivers at Prime. I don't know. Mickey Dougherty Jr. just picked up a 4th. We talked about that at the beginning of this. He's got 4 trucks. Yep. You might be right, Smitty. Yeah. Hey, Skeletor. Oh, is Fairywire back on? I watched her, she had some sort of accident, I think it was, and then she said she was going off the YouTube because she was getting a lot of criticism. Imagine that. But I didn't know if she was back on. Bye, TJ. Be safe. Hey, Truckers Life, good afternoon. What are you cooking today? Mickey, I think it's more than, there are so many truck drivers that do lease purchase, whether it's through Prime or any other. I can name 4 YouTubers that I know that are lease purchase right now. Now, they don't share typically outright that they're lease purchase. And I don't know that there's a distinction between being an owner op and a lease purchase, but Junior said he's going to do a video about how he has had the success he has and how he has 4 trucks. So I, for one, am going to watch that because I am interested to see how he did it. I guess to me, at the end of the day, he owns 4 trucks. He did something right. He did something right. If that's what you're trying to do, is get into trucks and own them, well, he's got 4 more than a lot of people, right? He's got 4 more than I do. I don't own this truck, right? Jake is right here. Buddy, Jake. Oh yeah, he's not paying attention to me. Ooh, Smitty, that's exciting. What kind are you getting? So Mother Truck and Mom, female trainers are in high demand and low supply. So I too wanted a female trainer, and I didn't get one, and I finally said, I don't care who I go with, just get me into training. So it's a good thought, but if you are really steadfast in that's what you want, that's what you're going to wait for, you may be waiting. Especially now, since they've upped the mileage, like, you're with your trainer a long time. But I wish you the best of luck, because, it can happen. I'm just saying, like, they're in low supply. Pork fried rice. Oh my God, that sounds so good, and I had my ribeye today, so, and I don't eat rice, but it sounds good. Yeah, Skeletor, he did show all 4. Yeah, if anybody, go watch Junior. Subscribe to him or go watch his video from yesterday. He's such a good dude, you guys. He thanked his family, he thanked God, he thanked Prime. And he's right. All of those people and deities were involved. He's just a good guy. He's just a good guy. I don't know that he did what Loshawn Parks did. I haven't heard favorable things about what Loshawn Parks did, so I don't know. I can't say anything more about that. Hey, Jeffro. Nice. Yeah, make sure you have a steady work history. They are big on that. Like, they don't want any gaps. That's, because they count on you to be out there working and to show that you like to work or need to work or want to work. They don't want people that go 6 months between jobs. That's just not the type of person they're looking for. This trucker's life, I mean, there's trainers of, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, there's trainers that are jerks, right? And there's soft trainers, and there's really hard trainers, and then there's trainers that don't give a damn, and then there's trainers that are only out there for money, and then there's really, really good trainers. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It's like, think about your grade school and high school experience. Did you have, was every teacher really good? No. And you just despise like having a class with them. You're like, oh my God, how did I get Mr. Bruner? Oh, geometry's gonna take forever this year. You know what I mean? That's a fictitious teacher's name. Who taught geometry. I actually love geometry, so oh, cool. So are you reefer or dry van, mother truck and mom, that you're switching over to flatbed? Ooh, Smitty, 60,000. Did they get called in for an upgrade? Oh yeah, COVID's doing odd things. So here's I talked about Chris's brother, well, Chris's uncle, and then Chris's brother, probably in the last 2 weeks had passed away in Jamaica. Well, Jamaica has an increase in COVID cases, so they're requiring an autopsy be done on his brother's body, and like they quarantine you for 14 days. They track you by your phone. They check in on you. His son is over there right now. So Chris is sort of down in the dumps because he doesn't think he's going to be able to get over there to bury his brother. Because COVID is just, it's throwing everybody off. Like, I don't know. I feel bad because not being able to bury a family member, it's just not right. Or show your respects. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, whew, God, it's cold in here. I've got goosebumps. Let's see. Jeffro, I'm an independent contractor, and there are definitely gaps between my line of work. It's hit or miss, but I took a seasonal job, and it's a legit job. Been there since March and still working there. Well, maybe your seasonal job was like the second job to your independent contractor, and you can fill in the gaps with your seasonal job. So there really isn't any gaps, Jeffro? You know what I'm throwing down? Shannon, any advice for mother truck and mom that wants to switch over to flatbed? Hey, G. Yes, training is a small part, but it can also make you or break you. A lot of people leave trucking during training because they can't take it. Now, whether that's trucking is not what they thought it was going to be. And Lord knows it is not what you think it's going to be. It's so far less about driving and everything else. So far. I mean, driving is probably the easiest part, right? Once you learn it. So I would agree, it is a small part, and that's what kept me going. I'm just like, I just need to finish. I will be on my own truck. You know, and my trainer, who we had a hellacious and very tumultuous training relationship. I mean, when I went in to upgrade to get my own truck, he was still talking to my fleet manager about how he and I should team together. He just didn't get it. And I didn't know if that was just what he was like familiar with, and that's what his relationships were, because you could not get me off that truck fast enough. And I said right in front of our fleet manager, I'm like, no, we don't get along. We're not teaming. We're just not doing it. No. Oh, gotcha, okay. Hey, Nicholas, well, welcome. We have a fine group of friends here on the channel. We're all friends. We're all friends here. Looking for a TNT if anyone ready to go in 2 weeks. Good to know. You do know this, Smitty, that there is a new Facebook group for prime drivers in training or about to enter training, and they are very locked down about who they let in that group. Yeah, like I heard a couple trainers got thrown out. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's a Facebook page for trainees to talk, I guess. So Nicholas, tell us, are you a trucker? Do you have someone in the family that's a trucker? Flatbed oversized loads. Wow. I have thought about hauling houses. I thought that would be kind of cool. But then I saw a guy hauling a house and I went, no. Like, I think he came off the highway and had to make a left turn. But I don't know why he was backing up off of the on-ramp, like a quarter of a mile at least, backed up into the lane in front of me and then went this way behind me. I don't know why he made that move. I don't know. But I don't know if I could do oversized loads. But you never know what you're capable of doing until you do it, right? Well, I'm not encouraging anyone to be on Facebook, because Lord knows I have a problem with it and I should be off of it, but You've met 2 drivers that are retired judges. Yeah, people from all walks of life. Like, I've talked to nurses and IT specialists and, oh gosh, you name it. Graphic artists and teachers. Teachers are coming into this field a lot. Who else? You know what's hard? Like moms that have been stay-at-home moms and want to re-enter the workforce and they want to become a truck driver. It's very difficult for them because they don't have an employer to back up their work history, right? And I couldn't be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I give props to the moms that could, because nope. But that is a huge struggle for them if they don't have, and it's hard for me to say like employment history, because I'm not trying to take away from what they did, because I think they have the hardest job in the world. But other companies don't see it that way. Weird. They should be a stay-at-home mom for once. Yes, Shannon, I do remember your previous profession. Came from law enforcement. Hello from Reno, Nevada. Well, hello. I am currently in Selma, North Carolina. It's beautiful here. What is the temperature here? Let's just see. 88 degrees. So that's what my truck says, and I'm not getting beat down by the sun. So it's probably pretty legit. So, Lewis, I appreciate the compliment, but we don't do that on my channel. We don't. So, thank you, but just a driver like everybody else, happened to be female. There's a lot of people pulling out of this plant that are driving Mercedes. That's the third one. I was watching she was on Instagram, Highway Diva. She was at some mechanic place, and I couldn't zoom in, but I swear she's like, the mechanics must be doing something else, because they were all driving Teslas or something, or Maseratis. I mean, it wasn't your BMW or your Mercedes, it was beyond, but I couldn't zoom in to see the emblem or logo or whatever you call it. That is true, Shannon. I am not far from you. Yes, Jeffro, they do have a tough job. My brother is retired chief of police. He entered the workforce when he was 18 and retired at 52 as chief of police, and then couldn't handle retirement, and now he's head of security at a hospital. Paul says he wants to haul an oversized load, haul M1 tanks around for Uncle Sam. That sounds pretty intimidating. M1 tanks. I think it's cool when I drive by them or I see them go by me. I'm like, oh my God, that thing is massive, right? I don't know if I'd want to haul it. Well, you guys, I think I'm going to get off here. I don't like my lives to be too long, but I need to go stretch my legs, get Jake out for the walk. It's funny, hang on. So, in my door, I have these Frisbees, but these are not dog Frisbees. These are disc golf Frisbees. My son, was he considered pro? I think he was pro and sponsored. And he's got, I'm not kidding you, hundreds. Him and his girlfriend. His girlfriend's very good at it too. Hundreds of discs. So I told him, because Prime put in a disc golf course at their terminal in Missouri, I said, I need a driver, putter, and driver, a putter, and what is the other term? I can't remember. Anyway, these are the three. But right next, the reason I even brought those out, because right next to it, every time I open the door, Jake sees his ball. So we're going to go play ball for a little while, because this place has a big green field. And it's screaming our names. Isn't it right, Jake? Sorry, buddy. I just scared the crap out of him. All right, you guys. You guys be safe. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out. I really appreciate that. Let me see, just catch some last people. Harold, hello from Atlanta, Georgia. I used to be an escort for oversized loads. Oh, very cool. We will, Charles. We certainly will be safe. Hey, Bobby, we're just ironwood and yeah, but not in disc golf. It's not an iron. It's a putter, driver, and dang it, I don't remember. Thanks, Lewis. Take care. Be safe in Nevada. I'm gonna check with my son and I'll post it in the community post. Be like, got it. We got it now. So, all right, let's get outside, Jakey. You wanna make it? You wanna show people who you are? Come here. Hang on, Jake's gonna make an appearance. Here he comes. Come on. Here he comes. Come on. There he is. Oh, Jakey. Here he comes. Oh. No. See, when I have leggings on, he doesn't like how they feel. He doesn't have the support of like when I wear jeans because he slides around on these. So he won't use it to bounce off me to get over here. So it is what it is. All right, you guys, be safe. Stay safe and healthy. All right. We'll catch you on the flip flop. Bye.